Yeah, so it's been 1 month since I had the first blast. Many things around us gives us hope. There's some things I love. Every time I wake up, one of the first things I do is just come out to my balcony and see this beautiful flower. See how beautiful they look. Yeah, it gives hope. It's refreshing. It's amazing. I love it here. Yeah, and then the sound of the bird. You can hear the sound of the bird. It's just natural. The wind, the flowers. I love it. The war between Iran and US and Israel, and I'm in Bahrain. Yeah, so it's always a beautiful day. It's been raining, so had the first blast on February 28th. Yeah, it's about 47th story. I'm on the 21st floor. I'm not gonna lie, in the midst of what is going on, I've seen people show up for me. That being said, my lease for my apartment usually expires in February. February 28th. So I paid for a space on the 23rd of February, which is like 47th floor high-rise building. I was on the 21st floor. But then, I paid on the 23rd, and I was given the key on the 26th. Then I started moving my stuff on the 27th. And on the 28th, I tried to move the little ones left, and I was trying to arrange them and feed them into the place. And that was when the first heat came, and the whole building was shaking. It's so scary, stuff like that. I didn't know what was happening. But then I managed to come out with just my laptop and my camera bag, because that's like the most important, valuable I could lay my hands on that time. I was just wearing a shirt, my slippers the same, my home indoor slippers I wear. And I heard people screaming, some Philippine ladies were screaming, with their dog were barking. So the sound of the chaos was just too much. Hitting the elevator, it took like 10 minutes for me to get for the lift to come to the 21st floor, because everybody was trying to come out, so stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah, anyway, confusion was just everywhere. People were just driving, it's crazy. But in the midst of that, I was able to drop them because they didn't have a means of going to wherever they wanted to go to. So I was able to drop them, and they asked me where was I going to. I said, I don't know. So I just drove somewhere, just, chill, because you don't even know where you're running to. And today is the 28th of March. I'm still alive. I'm hopeful. I'm basking. And I'm present in every situation. Yeah, so it's been raining. It's been raining like for a few days. And sometimes you can't really tell the sound of a missile or if it's a striking thunder. And then, you keep checking the clouds for smoke, to see some smoke. Yeah. But in all of this, we keep moving. In the course of this 1 month, war, missile, drone, whatever is going on, I've never in my life had so many thoughts, so many indecisions within a short time. I've been thinking about so many things, especially in a time when you have limited funds. You have like few countries you can travel to easily, on visa arrival. Being a Nigerian with a Nigerian passport is a lot to get a visa. So traveling was part of the many things in my mind. What country to travel to? What will I be doing there? Will I be starting all over again? Because coming from Nigeria, 3 years now down to Bahrain. You know, it's like starting all over again, you know, being a photographer and videographer and being a brand expert for many people, you know, going to a new country. Am I going to start the process all over again? You have to worry about the work visa, you know, the permanent stay and stuff like that. So Bahrain is one of the safest country anyone can be in. Like, it's so safe. You literally don't worry about anything. Nobody's gonna smack your phone from your hand. You can walk out any time of the day. Like maybe you go to parties or you're coming back, you know, 3 a.m., whatever, 2:30 a.m. You're safe. You don't have to worry about nothing. So being here out here for like 3 years, I mean, it's the safest place I can be. I don't have to worry about nothing. Especially being a cinematographer who has a lot of camera gears, filming anywhere. You don't have to worry about theft and stuff like that. So it's actually a very difficult situation to even live, and you meet lovely people. So in a place, even though there's chaos, you know, there's so many thoughts that come into my mind. You know, where is the next place I can go that is as safe as where it is right now? You know, being a Nigerian, even if I see a free flight to Nigeria, just now, I don't want to go. Like, honestly, I'm not in no way speaking about any country or whatever, but I still feel more safe here. Like, very, very safe here. Especially, I thought about many things. I saw the importance of being in a country that is war ready, that has, you know, sophisticated technology to reduce damage and that happens, to intercept missiles. And I kept wondering, if I was in Nigeria and Nigeria goes into war with a particular country, what do we really have to intercept anything? Down to the siren here in Bahrain, when it's hit, you hear a siren on your phone, and then you hear it out loud, even if you're driving or outdoor. Even in your apartment, you can hear the sound of the siren, so which is like a blessing. So you can, you know, just stay in the shelter till when everything is intercepted, and then you can do whatever you have to do. You know, being from Africa, so I've been thinking, I mean, what do we really have? What do we really have in Nigeria or in other African countries that can really give people some few assurance? You know, because the ability to intercept missile in the midst of whatever is going on is a big deal. It reduces the destruction that comes into the country. Yeah, so I mean, I've been in the Middle East for a while, so this is like the second time I'm hearing like stuff like this, but this one was like extreme. It was last year, 2025. It wasn't that serious though, just like, you know, we just hear the sound and it's about to hit, stuff like that, but then it was resolved. But this one's like, it's a month now, so we don't really know what to say. Sometimes you read on the news what Trump is saying, and then you hear the Iran leaders, you know, denying whatever Trump said on his Twitter or stuff like that. So how long is this going to continue? I really don't know. But one of the major things is staying alive, managing the resources you have, you know, especially what to eat, and then you really cannot eat as you'd want to eat. Yeah, so. And what else again? You know, I mean, you downsize to the kind of apartments you stay. You know, you don't really move around anyhow, except it's very, very important. You need to go get groceries, or you need to go get gas, or, you know, I mean, it should really be very, very important. So that's how I've been surviving, being here for this 1 month, especially when you're not making money, money's not coming in. So it's just a few little savings you have, you're trying to live on. Even the savings cannot save you. Yeah, it's amazing when your savings cannot really save you. But then, you know, you need to apply wisdom. So wisdom can amplify whatever you have going on. I have always known I have a thing for a green area, but I didn't know the importance of, you know, like, you know, being there on a regular. So in this 1 month, I've just been around, and it feels like seeing the green can be refreshing. It feels like they literally speak to you from the sound. You see how dangling it goes. I just love seeing this all the time. I come here to work out, like do some push-up and do some field runs. Yeah. They're beautiful. And then you can hear the sound of the bed. It's just, you know, I really cannot tell you how comforting this place is and how it has really helped keep my mind stable in the midst of what's going on, which is like, it's a blessing for me. Yeah, it's amazing. I know I can tell stories, but I'm not being consistent with, you know, trying to tell stories. Ever since this has been happening, deep down, I know I love to travel to different countries to tell stories, to film, because I have all it takes to do it. I see people do it, I admire them. Sometimes I really don't know how they get to finance what they do. Yeah. So I've been thinking, like so many thoughts, should I embark on that journey? But then you need a lot of funds to be able to travel to different countries, pay for your hotel bill, feed, still vlog, and especially stay in a safe space where, because of my media stuff I have, you can afford to be anywhere, because it costs a lot of money. So stay in a safe place, tell amazing stories, interview people on their success stories to inspire people, and also, if possible, do a boot camp where I can just teach like media stuff, photography and cinematography. Yeah, those are the many thoughts that comes into my mind. But then there's money. But after that, I don't want to be stuck in a particular country. I don't know what to do if I'm not making money, So yeah, I mean, there's just a lot to think about, to worry about. Yeah, especially when traveling as a Nigerian, you have less visa options on visa on arrival, and it take you months or something to get a visa, even if they will actually give it to you. Being an African, traveling to African countries a lot too. It's not that easy to get a visa to African countries. So there's a lot in play. But like I said, I'm always positive. I'm a present person in every situation, so always futuristic and looking for ways out to everything I'm doing. Yeah, so we do not shy away from the situations. We know what's happening while we're figuring out what's gonna be the solution. But then you have to be positive, be present.